Hello, everybody. It's Essie. Hope you guys are doing well. Going to give TikTok some time for them to let people know that I'm live, and hopefully, people will be able to jump on. I had advertised that we're going to talk about staying focused today, and that's something. Hello, everybody that's joining. Hope you guys are ready to talk about staying focused on this weight loss journey. Waiting for people to get notified that we're doing this because it's so important to start planning out your goals for 2025. I am in a part of the world where it is at 11. Oh my goodness, it's almost 11:30 here, and I am tired. So, but I promised that we would talk about these weight loss journey goals. It's so important to stay focused. It's so important to set these goals. It's so important to continue forward and make sure that we are staying focused for 2025. Let's get this journey started. So around this time, everybody's just doing what they want to do for the month of December. That's fine, but let's go ahead and plan out for 2025 what we're going to do for our weight loss journey goals. These goals that we're setting, the mindset for these goals could apply to anything that we want to do in life. Hi guys, thank you for joining. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about staying focused for 2025. If you have your journal, get your journal ready. Let's talk about what we can do. We're going to discuss 3 things this time around of what we can do to stay focused. So once again, you can use these things, whether it's in a weight loss journey or if you just want to get your mind right to start preparing for 2025. It's so important because everything that we do really starts here, right? We think that we need some kind of kickoff in order to jump us into our goals. Really, you got to start conditioning your mind before you make any moves. You got to be determined to stay focused. The last live that we talked about, hi everybody, thank you for joining. Remember to like. I hope you guys find this information helpful. Now, the mindset that we have as far as our goals is so important because that's what's going to spur us on for 2025. You have to stay focused. So whether it's on the weight loss journey, whether it's setting goals in life, you have to stay focused. So whether it's on the weight loss journey, whether it's setting goals in life, we've talked about it before, okay? And so let's dive into it now because we only have 3 or 4 weeks before 2025 is here. And if you want to make changes for 2025, you start channeling your mind and getting that mindset done right now. So in the last live, we talked about your why. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. I hope you guys are having a good evening. I hope you found your why because that's the first part of changing your mindset for 2025. Find your why. Now, for me, as an example, being a mom is not good enough for me just to say that's my why. I wanted to change and make some goals, right? There are other things that encourage you to continue the process of setting goals and being successful and changing your mind for 2025, right? So the why has to be personal. It has to be something that is really pertinent to you. We do things for other people all the time, don't we? So as a mom, I'm always worried about my children. As a caregiver to my mom, I'm always worried about her and what needs to be done. But let me tell you what I didn't buy out time for. Haven't bought out time for myself. Anybody else in that position where you caring about other people so much that you forget to take care of yourself and set goals for yourself? Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. So the first thing we're going to do is find our why. Why are you going to be motivated for 2025? Why are you going to be motivated to keep things moving and set your goals and say, I need to make some changes in my life so that I am able to have a successful 2025? So you got your goals set up. We talked about that the last video. Go look at that the last live. Now we're going to talk about taking that why and how it's going to make us stay focused. So point number 1, what's your passion and your value? Right? What do you value most? So when you're setting your goal, do you want honesty? Are you a creative person? Do you your family, is that what matters to you for 2025? Because that's where you're going to take your why as far as being motivated to take certain actions. And that's when you're going to start taking your why and making it work for you. So let me show you how to do that. Yes, I love my family. But I also needed to take time for myself and see what I needed to do in order to be successful. My why started with me taking a personal assessment of what I value. I value my life and my health. right? And so for me, the weight loss journey was about me wanting to feel better and comfortable in my own skin and to stop denying myself things. Now, how can you use that also if you're looking for a career change? Well, you have a mindset. You have something that people value. Take that and put it into action, right? That why will move you. You need to think that you're valuable first before somebody else will realize it. You do know that, right? So before you start saying, why don't people look at me and see the knowledge that I have, the wisdom that I have? Well, they're not going to see it unless you understand what you possess first, right? So what is something that excites you? What are your passions, your values, things that you want to do, and how productive do you want to be in your goals? That's first and foremost, right? So my health, wanting to make sure that I stayed around, wanting to make sure that I took the time for myself, that became my why. And that became the passion that moved me forward to wanting to do more. I hope you guys are getting this. Like I said, I'm in a part where I may not be getting good reception, so I will be reposting this later. Sorry if I'm losing some people, but for those of you guys who are joining, thank you for joining me as we talk about staying focused. Now, another thing, point 2 of staying focused and helping us along this goal and this journey for weight loss. Point 2 of staying focused and helping us along this goal and this journey for weight loss. I've lost 160 pounds, and the reason that I was successful is because I had to stay focused. But what got me to that point? It was a pivotal moment moment in my life where I realized that I was better than what I was receiving. Okay? And so you all have to think about that too. Look at your past experiences. What really causes you to make moves, set goals, and take action? Those are the things that you really need to focus on. And I'll give you an example. So, many people who've watched my previous videos, and I just have notes, so I'm putting my notes down here, guys. Many people who've looked at my previous videos or who have sat on my lives have known that, I went through a divorce, right? And right on the heels of coping with that divorce and everything that came with it, I also had I lost my dad, right? And so one of the things that I had to step back and realize is that my health was so important. That became my why, and that was a pivotal moment in my life where I had to realize that was the motivation for me to do more. That was the motivation for me to do better. So if you want to stay focused, I want you to really take the chance to look back at what motivates you, what you've been through with your past experiences that will keep you moving forward. So if you were a kid who was bullied in school, I think we know many people who have been bullied in school. You will sit there and you will think people may have told you you're not good enough. Well, we all know that's not true, right? We all know that that doesn't matter. But what matters is how you feel. Well, we all know that's not true, right? We all know that that doesn't matter. But what matters is how you feel about that and what you do. So do you take that information, that feeling, do you wallow in that grief of how other people view you, or do you use that as motivation to move forward? Do you use that as motivation to keep moving in your life so that you can stay focused in whatever goals you want to set? That is so important. Thanks to everybody who's joining. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope that you all are getting some of this information and it's helping you to plan out and set your goals for 2025. Now, I will tell you that I've started a sponsorship with e.l.f. being the first products that I'm going to promote today. I guess I have to tell people that this is a sponsor promoted video, and the reason why is because I've been running around all day and I use the e.l.f. Power Grip primer as well as the Power Grip setting spray, and this has kept my makeup on all day. I just absolutely love it. So if you guys are looking for something that's really going to grip your makeup as a primer, feel free to check out the e.l.f. Cosmetics because I absolutely love it. Now let's get back to another way that you can stay focused. I'm just going to look down here at my notes, guys. Who do you want to impact in your life? Right? who do you want to be here to impact? So a lot of us, we don't realize how deeply we impact other people just by our actions. So if you are a parent, looking at you set your goals and your actions will cause your children to move forward. It will cause your children to stay engaged and set goals themselves. So if you're looking to either start your weight loss journey, realize that you can pull other people along with you during this journey. Now, this is not going to be something that may happen at the offset, but as they see you make progress, they're going to continue to want to join you on this journey. And that's a wonderful thing. That's a beautiful thing, right? To influence others. We always say when you are climbing up the top on a certain path that you've set for yourself, make sure you reach behind and pull somebody up with you, right? Make sure that you're taking notice of other people who need the help too and pull them along with you, okay? That's so important to do that. That is what's going to help you also to stay focused. Because if you realize that you are also helping someone else on their journey, guess what? It's going to allow you to stay focused on your journey. Okay? And that's something that's absolutely wonderful. That's something that's beautiful. You want to influence other people when you're goal setting. Think about how they're going to react when they see you set your goals. And once again, I keep talking about if you're a parent, but that's true because your children will, when they see you set your goals. And once again, I keep talking about if you're a parent, but that's true because your children will always react in their lives after what they see you do. You realize that, don't you? When you see and they see you accomplishing goals, setting goals, doing things, making moves, planning things out, that's when they will also begin to set goals and they will motivate themselves and use that. They're wise. Thank you, your fave life coach. How you doing, Ladybug? She always supports me. I just love her to pieces. So that's one of the things that you guys want to do. Giselle, if you're on, thank you for joining. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Setting goals, once again, for this weight loss journey is something that's going to help you. Whether you have to write down your biggest goal. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. Write down your biggest goal and then write down steps. Smaller steps to help you get to your big goal, because that ultimately is how you're going to stay focused. And once again, getting back to this third point that we were talking about or that I mentioned. And once again, guys, I'm sorry if I've lost you all along the way. The connection here is not as stable as I thought it would be, but I will definitely repost this over a course, the next day or so that we can stay focused, right, on the weight loss journey. So one of the things that we talked about, who do you want to impact? How do you want to be remembered by other people? So here's a really positive thing, because if you stay focused on your weight loss goal, like we mentioned, it may not happen initially. Thank you guys for sending the lights. I really appreciate it. What may actually happen is you don't even realize who you're influencing or impacting. You don't even realize whose life you're changing by you just simply staying focused on your goals, right? Someone could be looking and going, you know what? If they could do it, guess what? So can I. If she can accomplish this goal, and I've known her for years and I've known her struggle, right? And she finally was able to hit that goal and maintain it, then I can do the same thing too. It's not so hard to think of the impact that you maintain it, then I can do the same thing too. It's not so hard to think of the impact that you maintain it, then I can do the same thing too. It's not so hard to think of the impact that you will have on somebody else if you take the time and set goals and stay focused. And then also that second point I mentioned, how you want to be remembered by other people. It's so important also to take that into consideration, because people, when they hear your name, they're not always going to think about the negative things that may have happened in your life. If you lost me, once again, I'm so sorry. The connection here is very unstable, but I promised that we would do the live tonight, and I'm hoping that it keeps going up and down. I know I'm losing some people, but we'll be back. We're going to switch to another location tomorrow, and hopefully when I'm there, that connection will be a lot better. I'm so sorry. because the connection keeps going up and down, up and down. But, you know, the live, I promised the live. So we're going to keep doing the live. And tomorrow when I move to another location, I'm going to do the live again. So thanks, everybody who's on and off, on and off. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. So here's another thing. When you, everybody who's on and off, thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. So here's another thing. When you have decided that you want to accomplish your goal and you're staying focused, think about who you're going to impact along. You have decided that you want to accomplish your goal and you're staying focused, think about who you're going to impact along the way. Think about who you people that you think are watching you are the ones that are going to be encouraged. And like I said, they're not going to remember the negative things. They're not going to remember the things that maybe you had to experience, right? What they're going to remember is how you pulled through it. They're going to remember how happy you were, how successful you were, and that's what's going to encourage them to keep moving forward. So staying focused benefits not only you. It didn't benefit just me, but it benefited everybody that I know and my family and friends who I love too, and people who feel like, I don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing it. And we want to do it too, right? So here are the steps. It all starts with your mind. Thanks, Flash. Thank you, Sana Sumia. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I really appreciate the likes and everything. We're talking about setting goals for 2025. You think you have a lot of time? Guess what? It's not a lot of time before the end of this year. Most people are so focused on just getting through the rest of this year that they want to start off 2025 with a bang. Well, now's the time to change your mindset to what you can accomplish. You are more than capable of accomplishing anything you want to in life. You know that, right? I don't care what anybody told you in the past. You actually are more than capable of doing it. So once you start with your why, here's my why. I want to be a better person, a better version of myself. And not because other people think that I'm not worth it, but because I know what my talents and skills are. That's could be your why, right? And it's time for you to show people what you actually got and what you're actually made of. And so that's another reason. That could be your driving or motivating force, your why. That's what's going to get you up out of the bed in the morning. That's what's going to help you stay focused. That's what's going to help you set the goals for 2025, whether it's to weight loss or whether it's for something completely different. And that's what's going to keep you motivated. So here are some of the goals that I'm setting for 2025. I am going to be looking for a trainer, right? Because there's certain things that I want to work on tightening up, and there's certain things that I'd like to see, you know, just hone my muscle tone and everything. And I think a trainer can really help me with that. And I'm hoping that I can do that sometime in, you know, before the spring of the year. That's my personal goal. When you have a substantial amount of weight loss, it's very, very hard. I think maintenance for me is not too bad because I don't really eat a lot. However, you know, I want to continue to keep my weight down and keep my health at a certain point. And so that's why it's so important for me to set goals for 2025. If you guys have goals for 2025, let me know what they are. Put them in the comments and let's see how you can reach them, because it's so important that you start now. See, that you really want to jumpstart it. You don't want to just wait until 2025. And you don't want to look back into March of 2025 thinking I should have set goals in January or December. This is when you want to start journaling it now and talk about what you want to do. So here's the things that we've discussed so far into this, because I know, like I said, the connection is a little unstable. I haven't had chance to really keep everybody online this time around. But the first things, we talked about 3 things so far as staying focused. If you look at my previous video, we talked about the why, right? Finding your why first, changing your mindset for 2025 so that you can reach your goals, okay? So now that you have set your mind as far as what you want to do, what goals you want to achieve, now I want you to go back, take that why, and let's start putting it into action, okay? So my why is I want to be healthier. Hey, your fave life coach. Thanks everybody for liking the why. I know once again the connection's up and down. I'm so sorry about that. We're moving to another location tomorrow. So let's go back to the 3 things that we discussed, okay? Now that we found our why, let's reflect on your passions and values. We do that by thinking about activities that make you feel most alive and fulfilled. Okay, so now that you have your why, I want you to associate some kind of health exercise that's going to get you to start putting your why into action. All right, so I want to be healthier. I don't like going to the gym, but I do like walking. Maybe what I can do, because I want to stay focused on my health and do more, is just walk. Just walk. Just go walking around the neighborhood. Go walking around the track. Find a safe place for you. A lot of people do mall walking, right? Inside the malls, if we still have them around, or the strip mall. You can even do that. And that's what's going to help you start to put your why into action. Find a hobby that you like, especially if you're doing a weight loss journey, that's going to take your mind off of false signs of hunger. Because the body will still give you false signs of hunger. And that will make you think that you're hungry when you're really not. Let's be real. Sometimes, did you know that the signal that the body sends out that you're hungry is also the same one that it sends out to tell you you're thirsty? So a lot of people, their first thing is, I'm going to jump and I'm going to go ahead and get something to eat. But sometimes we really need to hydrate ourselves first before we move into getting something to eat. Thanks everyone for the likes. I really appreciate it. Hi Shirley, how are you? I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you're doing well. And I hope you all are seeing the importance of setting your mind and getting it ready for 2025. If you're on your weight loss journey, hey Shirley, if you're on your weight loss journey, continue. If you are maintaining the loss, continue. I'm glad that you're doing good, Shirley. I'm hoping that you're setting those goals. Look at the things, like I said, as far as staying focused. Some of us, let me tell you what happens, and this is very, very important. Look at the things, like I said, as far as staying focused. Some of us, let me tell you what happens, and this is very, very important to realize. You're going to have those moments where you fall off the proverbial wagon. It happens to all of us. We're imperfect, right? No one has perfectly lost weight the whole journey, especially if you've had a substantial amount of weight to lose. We all fall off the wagon, and I mean multiple times, right? But when your mindset is looking at the big goal, you already have prepared for the smaller goals, okay? And so some of the smaller goals you may not meet because you may fall off. You just get right back on. Right? And start small. That's why those small steps are so important. People overlook the small steps, but they're very, very important because those are the steps that you tweak in order to get to the big goal. What do I mean by that? So I first started off doing intermittent fasting. Like when I decided to lose weight, I said, you know what? I'm doing intermittent fasting. Between 12 and 8 is when I'll eat, and I'm going all plant-based. So that worked for me for a bit. Right? 12 and 8 is when I'll eat, and I'm going all plant-based. So that worked for me for a bit, right? I was dropping a pound every other day. Now, to many of you, that may sound every other day. Yeah, it was quick. It was quick. And then I realized after a while that I wasn't really losing weight as much. I was very, very focused on food. I had, in essence, denied myself things that I really love. So what did I not think of? I didn't think of moderation, right? Because sometimes the key to losing weight is not just taking out everything that you love to eat. Sometimes it's just exercising moderation, right? Realizing that you have a sweet craving. So if you're someone who your whole life, like me, I've loved chocolate, I needed to incorporate that back into my diet, but I needed to do so in moderation. And so it's not a bad thing sometimes when you fall off the wagon. That could be a signal to you that maybe what you're doing is a little bit too extreme and you need to go back and look at your smaller goals in order to get to that big goal. So that's one of the things that I mean when I'm talking about finding what you like, what makes you feel fulfilled, what makes you feel like it's an activity that you love doing. You have to gradually grow into doing more when you're on this weight loss journey. Anybody who's lost a substantial amount of weight will tell you that if you've done it before, you're not going to go to the gym and automatically go start bench pressing 100 pounds. That's not going to happen. That's not realistic. I've seen people in the gym do that and they don't stay with it. So the best thing to do is start with something small. Get on a treadmill, 10 minutes, if you can make it. Trust me, I started at 5 and that was enough for me. So start at 5 or 10 minutes. And let me tell you, you got to find ways too that when you're staying focused, because I'm still on this journey too. I'm kind of maintaining, but there's still some pounds that I want to get off. You got to find your successes within this journey. This will strengthen your why. I'm going to give you an excellent example of what I experienced today. So many of you all know that I'm traveling. I am with my husband. Today we went to a conservationist reserve park. And they have beautiful exotic animals there that they rescue, and they allow them, they put them on this reserve, and they allow them to go to this reserve to kind of heal. They don't keep them there because they want them back in the natural habitat as soon as possible. And I'm telling you, we went walking down this trail. Now they're looking at me because we're with the guide, and they looking at me and they go, "Oh, this mile, this is 1.3 kilometers. Are you okay to walk it?" And I'm thinking to myself, this is a piece of cake. I'm on a treadmill. I'm tearing it up on a treadmill. Y'all have no idea. I didn't even break a sweat. I'm going to tell you that. Then we had to walk back. I was so proud of myself because those small goals is what got me to the bigger goal. You understand? The small goal, 2 years ago, when I couldn't even do 5 minutes, on the treadmill at a 0 incline, if you had told me 2-3 years ago, I'd be walking about a mile on a reserve park through the forest and the woods, and I wouldn't even be breaking a sweat, girl, bye. I'd have been, you lying. But it happened today because I've stayed focused. You stayed the course. You are, whether or not you know it, if you're this is pertaining to weight loss, thank you, Shirley, you are a weight loss warrior. Whether or not you know it, if you're this is pertaining to weight loss, thank you, Shirley, you are a weight loss warrior. You know that, right? If you've lost 2 pounds, you've done something to your body that very few can do. Many people won't even start the weight loss journey because they don't think they can do it. If you've lost 5 pounds, you've done something that somebody else is thinking they can't do, right? You've done something that somebody else is thinking they can't do, right? You are a weight loss warrior, whether you realize it or not. So once you unlock that secret and you realize that your mind is where it starts and then it spans out to other things, you will be fine. You will be just fine. But it all starts here with changing your mindset. So once again, we talked about point 1, and I'm just looking at my notes here. We talked about reflecting on your passions and values. Thank you guys for the likes. I really appreciate it. Please keep them coming. We're going to go delve right back into look at your past experiences. That's what's going to help you stay focused. So I was the woman, right, who never wanted to go anywhere because I was embarrassed about my appearance. I never wanted to take full body pictures, ever. As long as even when my job asked me for a picture, it was from here on up. And my daughter must have taken about 1 million pictures because every one, I couldn't get the angle, right? I was in my mind, notice what I'm saying, I looked a hot mess no matter how I posed. And so what is the quality of life when you're a mom and you don't want to go anywhere? What's the quality of life when you're on insulin and millions of pills, it feels like, because you've made decisions that have impacted your health negatively? What's the value and quality of life? And so what happens is you start to really deny yourself just the enjoyment of life. And nobody should do that. Nobody should be made to feel that way. So one of the things that you have to do if you're going to use your why to stay focused, you're going to have to delve into your past experiences and your feelings. You're going to have to recognize where those feelings came from. And you're going to have to start addressing those feelings. If you watch a lot of these shows that talk about massive weight loss, there's always that segment where the person will meet with a therapist of some sort or a doctor of some sort. And the doctor will help them to delve into their past experiences or their problems. And that's really beneficial because something started you on the journey to excessive weight gain, or something started you on the journey to accepting whatever is dished out, right? And thinking that you're not worthy of accomplishing or having more. And so it's whatever is dished out, right? And thinking that you're not worthy of accomplishing or having more. And so it's very important that we address those areas so that we can then start to move forward in order to set goals. It's just like somebody will tell you when you have a really bad breakup, don't take that baggage from that breakup into your new relationship, right? In order to prevent that from happening, you have to look and see what the problem is, what you went through in that past relationship so you don't carry it into the next one. And so it's the same thing with setting goals and staying focused and your mindset being right. You want to at least be able to say, this is what I need to do. This is where I faltered before, and this is where I need to address this issue so that I can move forward. So step 2, after you really look at what your values are and your passions, then you're going to look at the second step, which is delving into your past experiences to make sure that those needs and those issues are addressed so that you can move forward in setting your goals for 2025. Now, the last and the third thing that we talked about also is who you want to impact. Don't forget, people are watching you. They always will, especially when they notice that there's certain changes going on in your life. They hopefully are happy for you, especially when they notice that there's certain changes going on in your life. They hopefully are happy for you, which is what we all want, right? But they're going to notice that you're happier, you're in a much better frame of mind, and they are going to want to mimic that or get your help in finding their own joy. So whether it be your kids, your mom, your dad, your family, your friends, they're going to want to mimic that, and they're going to want to see how they can use that in order to stay focused on whatever goals that they're doing. And as a parent, let me tell you, it's so important. It's so important because our children watch what we do. Our children always watch what we do. And so they are going to respond to our challenges the way that when they get them in their lives, they're going to do the same thing. So as a parent, you want to set the right example. Healthy eating is always a good example, right? We don't do that enough. Sometimes I know people who were raised in families where unhealthy eating is not taught. You see that displayed in generation after generation after generation. And so be the one to break the cycle by finding your why and staying focused. All right, those are the three things that I wanted to share today. Thank you guys for joining. Once again, I know the connection was not great. So tomorrow, we're going to hopefully move to another location. But there are 3 more things that we're going to talk about for staying focused. And these are the 3 things we're going to test out our why. See if it's the right reason for us setting goals for 2025. See if it's something that's sustainable. Right? Is your why what's really going to move you to action? Then we're going to turn it into action. Talk about ways that we can do that too, right? Because it's so important once you identify your why to see how you can make it an actionable item. And then the third thing is we're going to simplify your why. Make it easy, right? This doesn't have to be complicated. And let me tell you, you have to find a plan that works for you. But any plan that's too complicated for me, I just wasn't doing it. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't take that, right? It was too hard for me to calculate certain things. If we doing calorie counting, I maybe could do the calorie counting, but anything aside from that, it was just too much. So we're going to find a way to, once you put your why into action, how to simplify it, because that's what's going to help you stay on your weight loss journey and stay focused. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, no matter where you are logging on from. Thanks for all of you all that were able to jump on. I really have a wonderful evening, no matter where you are logging on from. Thanks for all of you all that were able to jump on. I really appreciate it. It is pretty late here, and I will be honest, I'm moving to another location, another city tomorrow, and I am exhausted. So I want you guys to know that I will still be doing another live at 5:30 Eastern U.S. time. And then one more time, because this is a sponsor-related live, 5:30 Eastern U.S. time. And then one more time, because this is a sponsor-related live, I put this makeup on, it had to be, we went out around 12 noon, and it is exactly almost 12 hours later, and this thing is staying put because I love that e.l.f. primer. It's the Power Grip primer as well as the e.l.f. Power Grip setting spray. So I'm telling you, if it's something that you guys are interested in, this is a sponsor related video by e.l.f. So go ahead and go to TikTok, create shop, and get yourself some of it, okay? Because I'm telling you, it is something that's going to stay with you all day. And let me tell you, when we were at the Conservationist Reserve, hey, your fave life coach, thank you so much. When we were at the reserve, I didn't break a sweat because I was out of breath. I wasn't out of breath at all, actually. I broke a sweat because it was hot up in there. We were going through the forest, and it was dense trees all over the place, and it was steamy, like being in a sauna. So that made me break a sweat, I'll be honest with you. But even with the sweat, oh, and we saw the baby crocodile. And only when we're walking this path does the guide tell us, oh, there are crocodiles here. Yeah, they're crocodiles. But, you know, we kept them fed.